let x minus 3, let that be equal to k. Are you with me? So we can, wherever there is this, you put a k, you put a k. So what we have here, we have k squared minus 4k plus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. But for now, let's avoid having, okay, let's work it, yeah, let's avoid having this. Let's just solve it as equal to 0. Hello once again, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to our NCV Level 3 Mathematics, and this is part 2 of our revision session. And as I said, it is a new channel, and as I'm beginning this channel, I would like to work with you as you are doing your mathematics. You might be starting from NCV Level 2, then you're going to Level 3, and lastly you're going to Level 4. So I would like to walk this journey with you. And for the journey to be more meaningful, I'll say let us subscribe to this channel so that you can always be notified every time I'm posting a new video, and you can get the help that you want in your mathematics. Mathematics might be the subject that can change a lot when it comes to your career, so don't let it stop you in terms of it being difficult. You cannot struggle with maths while I'm around. So get hold of these videos, share the channel to your friends and your colleagues so that they can also benefit. So now let's look at this. As I said, this is mathematics level 3, and we I'm looking at part 2 where we did question 1. So this was question 1. As you can see, the workings that was being done here, it is when I was working on question number 1. And mainly it was involving complex numbers. And if you're coming for the first time in contact with this channel, that's why I'm saying you need to subscribe and ensure that the notification bell is turned on. So this is what we did. Question 1 out of 30 marks. It went over to the next part. So this is where question 1 was involving that. So it was out of 30 marks, and then I jumped question 2. I didn't do question 2, so that's what we'll be doing in this section. I also did not do question number 3. As you can see, there is some working here, but the working here is for question number 4. So I did not do question number 3. It was also out of 20 marks. I went on to do question number 4, and as you can see, this was the working part of the working on that. So now what I'm focusing on is question number 2 here. Let me just clear everything. So it's question number 2 and 3. So let's look at question number 2. The first one is 4 marks. Look at this. It says solve the following quadratic inequality. So they are already telling us it's a quadratic inequality. What am I given? It's x minus 3 squared minus 4 x minus 3 plus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. So let's look at these, and let me take it like that. So what we have, it depends how you want to simplify this, but there are 2 ways that I can suggest. There is the K method, which you can also apply here. So as you can see, it says, let me just check if, yes, x minus 3. As you can see here, it says x minus 3 squared and then x minus 3. So what you see is, look at what's in the bracket, the x minus 3 and the x minus 3. Do you see that the x minus 3 is repeating? So we can say let x minus 3, let that be equal to k. Are you with me? So we can, wherever there is this, you put a k, you put a k. So what we have here, we have k squared minus 4k plus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. But for now, let's avoid having, okay, let's work it, yeah, let's avoid having this. Let's just solve it as equal to 0 and see what we come up with. So I have got usually what is called the product sum method, whereby I find the product is 4, which is k squared plus k plus 4. I mean, it's k squared times 4, which is my product is equal to 4k squared, and then my sum is equal to minus 4, and my factors of 4 is 1 times 4, and it's 2 times 2. So in this case, I'm looking at this one, negative 2, negative 2. So it will be negative 2k, negative 2k. So it's minus 2k plus 4 equal to 0. Factorize the first 2 and the last 2. So k is common. It will be k minus 2. And then it's negative 2. And it's k minus 2 equal to 0. So what I have is k minus 2 and k minus 2 is equal to 0. So when I'm solving this, what I have, it's more like I have got k minus 2 is equal to 0, or k minus 2 is equal to 0. So k is equal to 2 and k is equal to 2. So it's the same answer. So it's more like k is equal to 2 twice. But remember what we have got x minus 3 is equal to k. So where I take it back to say I'm having this part here to say x minus 3 is equal to k, but remember my k is what? My k is 2. So x is equal to 2 plus 3, and what is 2 plus 3? Which is equal to 5. So x is equal to 5. So in a way, this is a critical value here. So if I can have my number line, let's see if this one will work. I have got my number line, and my value here says x is equal to 5. Right. So now I can test this value. I can test it on this side or on this other side. So what I can do, I can bring in, for example, the number before 5 here, it can be 4. The number after 5, it can be 6. I'm going to test these values and see the signs I'm getting in there. So I'm going to start with 4. So where there is k, I'm going to put where there is x. So let's say here, let me write test critical values CV, meaning we're going to test with x is equal to 4. We want to see whether we'll get a positive or a negative, and we're going to test with x is equal to 6. We want to see whether it will be positive or negative. So let's look at that. The aim is to test whether it's a positive answer or it's a negative answer. So where there is x, as I said, it will be 4. Let's start with 4 minus 3 squared minus 4 bracket 4 minus 3 and then plus 4. So I've got bracket there, 4 minus 3 squared minus 4 minus 3 plus 4. So I'm getting a positive 1. So it's positive. Let's try 6. Put a 6 there. And put a 6 there. So equal to, I'm also getting a positive. Am I right? It's positive. Let me do it again. Let's see here. If I put a 4 here, it's 4, right? And it's 4 minus 3, and also here I'm putting a 4 and then equal to, I'm getting a positive 1. Alright, so with this testing, it's not working. Therefore, it means I needed to work with my sign like that. So here I can then come back and say, let me work with the sign as is, like that. Let me not lose the sign. So it will keep on being greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Even here, every time there is that sign, I've got what? greater than or equal to. Remember I said let. So k here, I can maintain my greater than or equal to, and then my greater than or equal. So k is greater than or equal to and greater than or equal to. So it means when I'm substituting, remember k is greater than or equal to 0, but k is x minus 2, so x minus that, it means this one will be greater than or equal to. So which means here, the final answer now, when I'm looking at the final answer here, the final answer x is greater than or equal to 5, because the testing, you'll see some of the part where I'll be doing the one whereby you have to test, but unfortunately this one is not allowing that, because it was having same values with k is equal to 2, k is equal to 2. So then the answer becomes that. All right, let's move on. Solve for x by completing a square. How many marks? 4 marks. Can I complete a square? Let me do it on the other side. So what am I given? Given is x squared. Here, x squared is equal to 12x plus 10. I'm supposed to complete a square here. And then let's do that. So what do I do here? Again, completing a square, you need to come up with, you need to have the steps. You need to have proper steps in completing a square. What is the first step? First step is to take this 12 to the other side, and then what are you going to have? You're going to have x squared minus 12x is equal to 10. Are you with me? That's the first part. You need to have the x squared and as well as the 12x on the same side, and you must also make sure that the coefficient of x there is a 1 always. If there is a number there, you need to divide by that number so that it remains as a 1. But as you continue the revision, you'll see what I mean. And then at this stage, you need to focus on the coefficient of x, which is 12. What does it mean? Then you're going to say x squared minus 12x plus half the coefficient of x, which is negative 12, half the coefficient of x, you put a bracket and then you square it, is equal to what you do on the left, you do on the right, which is 10 plus half the coefficient. Remember, the coefficient has got the negative sign of x, which is that. So in other words, it's half of negative 12 and then you square that. So it's half, let me write this. It's when you're completing a square, it is the method is, let's say you've got a x squared plus bx. Let me remove the a part here so that it doesn't confuse. It's x squared plus bx is equal to c. So how do you complete a square? You say x squared plus bx plus half times coefficient of x is that one times b, and then you square it, and then it's equal to c plus 1 over 2 times b, and then you also what? You also square it. It's half the coefficient of x squared. But what you do on the left, remember, you have to do on the right. And then when you have done that, you simplify what is inside the bracket. It's x squared minus 12x plus, don't simplify that square, what is inside, leave that square as is. So half of 12, it's minus 6 squared. Then what you can simplify is what is on the right hand side after the equal sign. Then you can say 10 plus bracket 1 over 2 and then times negative 12 and then squared. That you can simplify. And then you get 46. You can simplify this. It's not a problem. But on the other side, do not simplify, because you are interested in what? In this square. You see that square and that square? You can now write the answer like this. And you put a square. And then you say is equal to 46. But what do you write? You write that x. And then what is also inside here, which is minus 6. So x minus 6 squared is equal to 46. That's it. Then you finalize the answer. How do you get rid of that square? You square root. So square root of what? Of x minus 6 squared is equal to, what you do on the right, you do on the left, it's square root of 46. But don't forget, you say plus or minus. Very, very important. When you put a square root, you say plus or minus, because we need two answers. So that square will follow that square root, so that you've got x minus 6 is equal to plus or minus square root of 46. Then take 6 to the negative 6 to the other side. Is from negative, it becomes positive. So x is equal to positive 6 plus or minus square root of 46. These are the two answers. How do you write the two answers? You're going to say x is equal to 6, take the positive one, square root of 46, or x is equal to 6 minus square root of 46. Then your calculator then can give you two answers. Remember, we are still here to test these, which is 6 plus square root of 46. The first one is 12,78. Let's maintain the two decimal places. 12,78, or x is equal to, then we can use the other one, which is 6 minus square root of 46, which is equal to negative 0,78. Negative 0,78. These are the two values of x. Are you with me? But now, as I said, it's possible it's 6. We can test one of these. But remember, don't test with the rounded off, test with the original. For example, you can test with 6 plus square root of 46. And what do I mean? You come here, in the original here. Let's go to the original. So where there is x squared here, you're going to put, where there is x, it's 6 plus square root of 46 squared. Remember, that's x squared. And then where there is x here, it's 6 plus square root of 46. The left hand side must balance the right hand side. So let's do that. It says what? It says x squared. So what do? I put a bracket, which is 6 plus square root of 46 squared. You say equal to, notice the answer, it's 163,387. But the key one is 163,387. I'm going to do it on the right hand side to see if I'm getting that one. It's 163. Okay. 12 bracket 6 plus square root of 46. You close the bracket, plus 10. It was 163. So let's try that. It's 163 again, 38. So it means my answer is correct. It's just a quick test just to check if your answer, the left hand side, balances with the right hand side. So that was that, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, we're done here. Let me clear that. Let's go to 2.3. 2.3 is focusing on what? So for x and y simultaneous equation. Let's do that. What do I have? I have here x over 3, am I right, plus 2y is equal to 11, and then I've got x squared minus 2y squared is equal to 49. How many marks is this? Again, I think you say it is, oh, this one is 6 marks. Good marks. Simultaneous equations. And then if we can use that, you need to also have the skill on dealing with this. But what do? We call this first thing equation 1, and we call this equation 2. You always look for the simpler equation, which is here equation 1. Let's do something with equation 1. What do I have? I've got x over 3 plus 2y is equal to 11. That it's still simpler because it doesn't have the squares, but I need to get rid of that 3. So I multiply everything by 3, that by 3, that by 3, so that I can get rid of that. That's how you get rid of that. 1 over 3, I mean you multiply by 3, by 3, by 3, but each and every item because of the plus and the equal sign. Are you with me? So here now we'll have x plus 3 times 2 there, it was 6y is equal to 11 times 3 is 33. Do you see that? Now I can make x the subject here. So what do? I'll take 6y to the other side is positive to become negative. So x is equal to 33 minus 6y. Then you have equation number 3. Remember, equation 3 is derived from equation 1. These two communicate. So now you can then take equation 3. Let me do this. You can say now equation 3 into equation 2. What does it mean? So it means I take equation 2 as my x squared minus 2y squared is equal to 49. So where there is x, I now put this value. See that? 6 what? 33 minus 6y is what comes there now, but in brackets. So I've got 33 minus 6y squared. That's why you put that in bracket. Minus 2y squared is equal to 49. But that squared, be careful. Don't say it's 33 squared minus 6y squared. No, no, no. Remember the expansion I said? To say it's like this. You have got two of these. So we have got 33 minus 6y, and you have got 33 minus 6y. I think that minus 2y squared is equal to 49. That's what it means. Multiply 33 times 33. You have got 33 squared. I don't know what is that answer there, but it's 33 squared. 33 times 6. I think that one I can quickly find. To say 33 times 6, it gives me 198. So 33 times negative 6 is negative 198y. Negative 6y times that again is negative 198y. Negative 6 times negative 6 is plus 36y squared minus 2y squared, and then to continue, this says what is equal to 49. Alright, so now I think it's a matter of collecting like terms and doing everything once. So look at this. I've got this, the y squared, 36 minus 2, which is what? 36 minus 2, I think, is 34. So I've got 34 y squared, and then minus 198 minus 198. I think the negative 198 minus 198, you add and keep the sign, minus 396y. So I've done that, and that, which is what? Now 49 will go and join what? It will come here and join that number. 33 squared minus 49. So let's do that. It will be 33 squared minus 49 equal to 1040. So it's plus 1040 equal to 0. So the main thing, guys, here was for me to rearrange, collect like terms, and then bring everything together. So now it's tempting here. Let me check on the formulas. I want to check something on the formulas of this one, and then we have the quadratic formula. You see that? So we can actually apply the quadratic formula. X is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. I can apply actually the quadratic formula to simplify things quicker here. Remember, it's y now, so it's not x. So y is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So this is my a, my b, and my c that I can now use there. So what do I have here? I will have y is equal to minus, and then the b is also negative there, negative 396. Always put it in brackets, plus or minus square root of negative 396 squared minus 4. My a is 34, and then my c is 1040. So we can extend that. It's extending there. And then just to erase this part here, is 1040, and then all over 2, and my a is bracket is 34. Can give me two answers here. The two values of what? Of y. Let's look at that. So what do I have? Its fraction is minus bracket negative 396 plus square root of its negative 396 squared, and then minus 4, and then 34 for a. C is 1040. Alright, and then all over 2, before that is all over 2 bracket a is 34. Alright, and then do that. I'm getting 130 over 17 is the first one. 130 over 17, put minus, and then I'm getting 4. So I got 130 over 17, or y is equal to 4. I got two values. I didn't solve this one, I left it like that because I wanted to get to test my answers. So these are my two values of y, but that's not the end. Remember, I've got my x, so I can come here. Okay, let me just do this. I can take this x value here, duplicate it, say, but my x is this one. Remember, I still have my x. My x is that. So now if I still have my x like that, so when y is equal to 130 over 17, what is x? X is equal to 33 minus 6 bracket, put the 6y, but the y is 130 over 17. I think that. So it will give me the first value of x for that value of y. So it's 33 minus 6, 130 over 17. Alright. So it gives me negative 219 over 17. Negative 219 over 17. We'll test that one. The second one, we can take the second one to say here, I'll copy it again. Say for this one, what about when x is equal to, the other value was 4. I mean when y is equal to 4, not x. So I'll delete there. That's not the x, but this is the what? When y is equal to 4. So what is it? X is equal to 33 minus 6, where there is y, you put 4. So x is equal to, again, as I say, rely on the calculator, simple, 36 minus 6 bracket 4, and then I'm getting 9. So you can write your answer in coordinate form to say when x is 9, y is 4, even on the other one to say when here x is negative 219 over 17, y is 130 over 17. Okay, I'm not going to test this one, or we can test them both, but I simply want to try 9 and 4. You go to the original and say when x is 9, when x is equal to 9, y is equal to 4. We test it on both equations and see if ever it is going to be balancing. So let's do that. Now start with the first one. Remember, x is 9, so it's 9 over 3 plus 2y is 4. It must give me 11. So it's fine on that one. It works. Let's try the second one. It's x squared, which is 9 squared minus 2y is 4 squared. It must give me 49. There it gives me 49. I could have tried with the other numbers, just that it's difficult to, not really difficult. Let's do it. Let's do it. I can just y is what? Y is 130 over 17. Let's try that. Y is 130 over 17, and then what is x? Let's just test it for argument's sake, because both of them must work. x is negative 219 over 17. Negative 219. Negative 219 over 17. Let's test it also here, because it's very important that both the values will give an answer. So let's do that. I can close here now. Now, first one here is what? X is negative 219. Okay, I need to be careful now. Let's start there. It's fraction, and then x has a fraction on top, so I put another fraction. So it's negative 219 over 17 over 3 plus 2y. 2 bracket y is bracket 130, and then over 17. Do that. Equal to, you see, I'm getting 11. Let's do the squared part. X squared is bracket negative 219 over 17 squared, okay, minus 2y squared is 130 over 17 squared. It must give me 49. There is give me 49. Some will ask to say, must I leave my answer as 219 over 17? You can leave it as a decimal 219 over 17. You can leave your answer as like this, negative 12,88, and then 130 divided by 17 equal to 7,64. I think it was negative 12,3. It was negative 12,88 and then 7,17, something like that, but it doesn't matter. You can leave your answer in decimals. That's all I'm trying to make here. All right, so guys, that is the simultaneous equation done and dusted. Let's look at this one. 3 marks. Simplify each of the following. And here I'm not gonna do much or dwell much here, but there's 3 marks. Okay, what do they want here? They wanted to check. It's 3 marks, but it looks long. They just wanted to check you. I'm gonna do a section on these, but check my videos that are gonna follow. But it's a matter of factorizing. They say, can you factorize this? M squared minus m minus 2. You need to know how to factorize this, because it will become the product is the product sum. I usually use the product sum to say which two numbers, when you multiply them you get minus 2, when you add them you get minus 1. So here you'll have m minus 2 when you factorize, and m minus 1. That's the factorized version of that. But is it m minus 1? It's m plus 1. So that is m squared. M times m is m squared. M times 1 is plus m minus 2m, which is negative m minus 2. That's correct. And then all over, you look at that 5m minus 5. You take out 5 outside. It's m minus 3. Because 5 times m is 5m. 5 times 3 is 15. Then you say times. Remember, when it's divided, you say times, so that this goes to the top and that goes to the bottom. But look, what is m squared minus 9? It's a difference of 2 squares, which is m minus 3 and m plus 3. Are you seeing that? Difference of 2 squares. All over, what about m squared minus 4m minus 5? You need to factorize also. You know, I prefer the product sum. Some they do this, they say m, and then here you put a 5 and you put a 1. So what do you have? M minus 5, m plus 1. I think that. So it's m minus 5, m plus 1. Then you check m times m is m squared. M times 1, m minus 5 is minus 4m minus 5. Are you getting that? Times. Again, we continue. 15m minus 50. It's 15m minus 50 minus 5. Look at this. If you continue working on this on top, 15 minus 5 is the same items. 15 minus 5 is what? It's 10m minus 50. So what is common there? It's 10, which is m minus 5. Do you see that this was supposed you subtract, you literally subtract, and then all over. What about m squared plus m minus 6? You also open the two brackets there, and then you've got m, you've got m. Now you look at that one to say it's 3, the factor of 6 is 3 and 2, so the other one is a plus, the other one is minus. So that is m times m, it's m squared, m times negative 2 plus that. So guys, I just need to do a product sum. I was just using the product sum method to factorize. You need to know how to factorize. It's very important. I repeat, NB, you need to know how to factorize. Give me a shout if you're struggling, and then I'll put in some videos that are going to show you how to factorize. If you're struggling, tell me, and I will post a video just to know how to factorize the product sum. Talk to me. If you are struggling, I repeat, if you are struggling with factorization, I have a simpler method, and that method is called the product. It's a common, it's not like I invented it, it's there already. It's the product sum method. Once you master it, you'll never struggle about this. Okay, so when I've done that, it's a matter of what? You take out what you don't want. So look at this. Let's start with m minus 3. M minus 3 is gone, and then m minus 5. M minus 5 is gone. M plus 3 there, m plus 3 is gone. M minus 2, m minus 2 is gone. M plus 1, m plus 1 is gone. Look, this, when you're cancelling, only what is left is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So at the top it's 1 times, they are all multiplying. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, there is a 10. So what do you have? You have equal to 10 over, you continue, there is a 5 over 5. What is 10 divided by 5? Which is equal to 2. This answer just simply gives me 2. But you can test this. You can test if your answer is correct. Choose any value of x, of m, any value that comes in your mind for m. Simple one, let m be equal to, choose funny numbers like 7. If you can choose 1, 2 is a bit tricky because you've got 1. You see, don't choose the numbers that are appearing here. Like, don't choose 2, I've got 2. Don't choose 1, I've got 1. Don't choose 3 because I've got 3. Don't choose 5, I have 5. That's why I said 7. Or any other number. We're going to have it all in here. Where there is m, I'm going to have that. It must give me an answer of 2. So let's do that. So m is 7, right? I hope it's going to fit in because it's quite a lot. So it's 7 squared minus 7 minus 2 over 5 bracket 7. Let me say 5 times 7. Maybe I can save more space. 5 times 7 minus 15. Divided by, do it as is, and then m is what? 7 squared minus 4 times 7 minus 5 over 7 squared minus 49. Minus 9, not 49. Okay, and then times, you do that. 15 times 7 minus 50 minus 5 times 7 over 7 squared plus 7 minus 6. When you have done that, you say equal to, you see, it gives me 2. You can actually choose any number. If it gives you a 0, try another number. If it gives an error, try another number. You'll get the number that will give you the right one. Whatever it simplifies to, work towards that answer. Okay, so this is that, guys. That's how you could have done this. What about this other one? It looks simpler, but it's 4 marks. Look at this. They are giving you this. I just want to work it out on a fresh page. I don't know. Yeah, let's work it out on a fresh page. It's 1 over x squared it's minus 1 over y squared all over 1 over y plus 1 over x. Alright, let's work this on a clean sheet here and see where it takes us. Look at this. If you are given this, you're supposed to simplify. It's 4 marks. First, let's deal with this top part. Okay, because you can write this like this. Let's write this like this. The better way, you can say equal to 1 over x squared minus 1 over y squared. That's what I suggest. You put it in brackets and then you say divided by this division line. You say divided by, put it in brackets also, 1 over y plus 1 over x. You see that? By the way, you can actually test your answer quickly. Choose any value. Say x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. You can actually test it and see what it simplifies to. Let's try that first. So you've got the fraction, which is this one. Then on top, I've got the first fraction, which is 1 over, remember x is 2 squared, minus 1 over y, I said let's use 3 squared. You choose any number. And then all over, again, fraction, 1 over y is 3 plus 1 over x is 1 over 2. Just see what it simplifies to. It gives me 1 over 6. You can choose any number. It gives me 1 over 6. So let's try to simplify and see if also we will get 1 over 6. You will see what I mean when I'm working on this. So let's continue. So this is equal to, common denominator here, it's x squared y squared. That's the common denominator. So x squared y squared into y into x squared y squared. So this will cancel. You see that I've got what? Y squared. So on top here I've got 1 times y squared, which is simple y squared, minus this cancels. I've got x squared times 1, which is what? X squared. You see that? Remember, put the brackets, divided by, same thing, yx or xy. Let's start with the alphabetical order, xy. Y cancels, times, it's x remaining, x times 1 is x. Do you see what I'm doing? So it's y into xy, it's x, times 1, it's x, plus, cancel that. No, now I'm cancelling the x. Y will remain y times 1. Do you see what I'm doing? So here it's y. Then at that stage, this is a difference of 2 squares. It's y minus x, and then it's y plus x, or x plus y, whatever, over, this is x squared y squared. Now this is same as saying xy times xy. So x times x, y times y. Why? Because I want to match with that. You'll see what I mean. Then I say times. Remember, when you say times, what happens? This goes to the top, this goes to the bottom. You invert it. So it will be xy over x plus y. You see why now I was using that part of saying use xy. Why? Because I wanted this xy to cancel that xy, and then x plus y is y plus x, or x plus y. It's the same thing. So which is equal to y minus x over xy. Then this becomes the answer. But you're asking yourself, but you got 1 over 6. Let's test again. Remember these values. Let's put them there with the calculator and see what answer I'm going to get. Where there is y, I put 3. Remember, fraction. 3 minus x, which is 2, over xy, which is 2 times 3, equal to, you see, I'm also getting here 1 over 6. So the first one and the second one, they are matching. It means my answer or my simplification is simply correct. That's what you do when you're testing such. Alright. Now, having done that, this time is now sketching. The following constraints, 2.5, the following constraints are given for a linear programming problem. It's been some time I did this one, but it's linear programming, but let's get it done. It says the following constraints are given: y plus 2x is greater than or equal to 8, 3y plus 2x is greater than or equal to 18, y is less than or equal to 2x, x is greater than 1. Sketch the graph with the given constraints on the answer sheet attached. But now look at this. Whenever you're given these, you need just 2 points. Here, when x is equal to 0, you ask yourself, what is y? So you put a 0, this disappears. Y is called what? Y is equal to 8. So, 8 here. That's the first point. You do the second one. When y is equal to 0, you start with x, now you do the y. When y is equal to 0, do this thing to say now y is 0. Divide by 2, divide by 2. You see that? Divide, x becomes what? 4. We call them 2 points, the x1 and the y1. These are the x-intercepts and y-intercept. You do the same thing here. So what I'm trying to say is like this. You have got 3y plus 2x. You just put an equal sign for now because you want to plot. So you say when x is equal to 0. So what happens is this becomes 0. It disappears. So you have got 3y is equal to 18. You divide by 3. You divide by 3. And then you say y. 3 into 18 is 6. You see that? So in here, I'm saying on the second one, when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 6. You do the same thing when y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0, this disappears. Then you see 2, you've got now 2x not greater than, just put an equal sign. Then you divide by 2 so that you can have x is equal to 9. You see that? So you're going to say here, x is equal to 9. Then that is that. Then we go on to the next one. Y is less than or equal to 2x. Here you see when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. We can't do much now because it's just got x and y being 0. Even if you say y is 0, x will be 0. Choose another value. For example, when choose another x value, an extra value for x. You can say maybe when x is equal to 3 for interest sake. So we put a 3 here. And then what does it say? Y is equal to what? 6. Don't choose just any value. Then you are done. You start sketching. Say sketch the graphs. So let's look at this. Then they gave us this. This is what to be given here. So let's start with the first one. The first one, y plus 2x is equal to, you start with an equal sign here, is equal to 8. When x is 0, y is 8. That's the first part. When x is 0, y is 8. There is a part there. Let me make it like that. The other one, then when y is 0, x is 4. So go to say y is 0, x is 4. So when y is 0, x is 4. There is the point. And then what you do, you draw this line. It's too thick. Let's choose another one. There is the line. And what is this line? It's y plus 2x is equal to 8. So y plus 2x is equal to 8. So this line is y plus 2x is equal to 8. But now I'm interested in what? Y plus 2x is what? Greater. So it says sketch the graph with the given constraint on the answer sheet attached. Okay, let me just sketch the graphs. But I'll show you what it means because they want me to draw a feasible region. That's the linear programming. But let's do the next one. 3y plus 2x is equal to 18. When x is 0, y is 6. Let's do that. When x is 0, I'll use another marker now. When x is 0, y is 6. I've got that point. And then when y is 0, x is 9. When y is 0, x is 9. So somewhere there in the middle of that line. Because it's 8, 10, 9 is just there. Now, join these 2 points. Like that. Might not be as what I want, but it's fine. It won't be as accurate as I would have wanted, but it's fine. So what is this one? is 3y plus 2x is greater than or equal to 18. So this is 3y plus 2x is greater than or equal to 18. Coming so good. The next one, y is less than or equal to x. When x is 0, y is 0. Again, I'm going to use another marker. The first one is there. And then the second one is when x is 3, y is 6. When x is 3, center here, y is what? Y is 6 here. So just to get an estimate of this one, I'm gonna erase it. It's more like I've got that and I've got that. The point is somewhere there, but I need to erase that and that. But the point, as you can see, it's somewhere here. Is it there? Okay, but it's just somewhere here. Alright, so I can draw this line like this. It's too thick again. I can draw a line like this. See, I'm using this just to, it's a sketch, guys. It's a sketch. What is this one? Y y is equal to 2x is equal to 2x. And then lastly, what graph am I got? And then says x is greater than or equal to 1. So x, focus on x. So x is greater than or equal to 1. So if 1 was that point, so you just draw a line. I'll make it I hope this yellow line will be visible. This is the line, and this line you're gonna call it x is equal to 1. Are you with me? Then the question was shade. That's what I wanted to say. So these are the graphs. They give you 4 marks. You need to know how to sketch graphs, and then they say shade the feasible region on the graph sketched in that. You need to shade. Look at it. The first 2 graphs, x plus y and 3y is greater. When they say greater mean this graph, I wanted this region. So I wanted this region, right? And then this other graph, I also wanted, so I wanted that region, I wanted that region, I wanted this region. And the other graph, I also wanted this region, I wanted that region, I wanted, I wanted this region. See? So, and the other graph, y is equal to 2x. Let's see that graph. Y is less than or equal to 2x. So, something that is less. See, greater means above the line. Less is below the line. So, if you see less or going to the negative. So, this one for less, it was this direction. This is less. This is less. And that is less. And then the other one is x is greater than or equal to 1. Greater, you see, than equal to 1. Numbers that are greater than 1 is 2, 3, 4, 5. So less than, greater than is this one. See, greater than is this one. Now, if you can see the region that I'm interested in, you can see it is this region, because they say I need to shade. It is there. Okay, let me make it thicker. I'm interested. Look at this, because this cuts me off, and then after that you can see I still look at the arrows. They are all meeting there. So this cuts me off. There I must stop. Then there I must stop, and then there, but it continues. You see. So if they're saying shade, I was simply going to do a shading of that region, which is simply this region here. You see what I mean? So this is the region that I'm interested in, but it continues. It doesn't end. Okay, this is what it continues. All right, and then they are saying 2.5.3 here they are saying find the values of x and y that will maximize the profit if the objective function is p is equal to x plus y. So we've got p is equal to x plus y. That will maximize the what? The profit. So you come back here to say, how will I maximize the profit? The profit is maximized in these vertices there and those corners. If you can know those corners, then you'll be set up. Now, what do we have in these corners? So here, just an estimate. You see that is a 6 and a 1. So you have got x is equal to 6, y is equal to 1. And then you can try this other one. What is this value? And then they say to use the graph. Am I right? Find the values of p that will maximize the profit. It's 4 marks, but I can actually use the two graphs where they meet. It's more like you're solving a simultaneous equation. There is that part here. So what is this graph? I can find those 2 points. Okay, let me start here to say when x is equal to 1, I can actually find the actual points. To say when x is equal to 1, then I come back on this graph. Y here, y is equal to 2x plus, not y is equal to, y plus 2x is equal to 8. So I need to remember, but x is 1. So here I put a 1. So y is equal to 8 minus 2, which is equal to 6. Hence, I said the first point is what? X is 1. Y is 6. That's the first point. Let's look at the other one here. Two graphs are meeting here. What is that graph? It is this one and this one. So what do I have? I have got y. Let me use a different marker. I have got y plus 2x is equal to 8, and I've got 3y plus 2x is equal to 18. Very simple one also. Simultaneous equation, you subtract. This is y minus 3y, so it's y minus 3y, and then 2x minus 2x, you see it will go, is equal to 8 minus 18. So y minus 3y is minus 2y is equal to 8 minus 18 is 10 over, is negative 10 over negative 2 over negative 2. So y is equal to 5. Then you come back and say y is equal to 2x, not y is equal to y plus 2x. I'm taking it from here. Y plus 2x is equal to 8, but we know our y. Y is 5 plus 2x is equal to 8. So 2x is equal to 8 minus 5, and 2x is equal to 3 over 2 over 2. That means x is equal to 3 over 2 is 1,5. There is a point. 5 and x is equal to 5. Y is equal to 1, not x. X is equal to 1,5. Here, x is actually the 1. X is equal to 1,5 because it's that point. Y is equal to 5. See this? But you can test it. Y looks like a 5 there. This point here looks like a 1,5. You see that? Then there is this point. That point there. That point has got two graphs. Let me erase this part because it helps me to work out on these graphs. Because the graph itself, they could have said use the graph, but the graph is not specific. I've got that point here on there. I've got y is equal to 2x, and I've got this graph which is 3x. So y is equal to 2x. The simpler way to do it is take this one to the other side, which is y minus 2x is equal to 0, and the other one is 3y plus 2x is equal to 18. Don't worry with the signs again, but this time you add, you don't subtract. Why? Because it's minus 2x plus 2x, so that it goes y plus 3y, it's 4y is equal to 0 plus 18, which is 18. Divide by 4 here. So what is y? What is 18 divided by 4? So I've got 18 over 4. It gives me 4,5 or 9 over 2. Same thing, remember y is equal to 2x, but I know my y is 9 over 2 is equal to 2x, right? And then I divide by 2, divide by 2, so it's more like 4,5 divided by 2. It's 4,5 over 2, which is what? 2,25. X is equal to 2,25. So here I've got another point. Here another point is x is equal to 2,25, y is equal to 4,5. So you have got 3 points, and then in big picture these are the points I'm having. You want to maximize the profit, so they said what? P. Let's come back here. They say you want to maximize the profit, and they said P is equal to what? P is equal to x plus y. X plus y. So you just meant of adding these. So the first one here, x plus y is 1 plus 6, which is 7. What about here? 5 plus this, 1,5. This is 6,5. What about here? 4,5. 4,5 plus what? 2,25. I think that's what I need to add there. 4,5 plus 2,25 equal to 6,25. So here I'm getting 6,25. So you can see the question was find the values of x and y. So they are the values of x. Therefore, x is equal to 1, y is equal to 6, because it gave me what? It gave me a p is equal to 6. I mean 1 plus 6, not 6 plus 1. 1 plus 6, which is equal to 7. Alright, so guys, that is that on the simultaneous equation here, linear programming. And yeah, it was a bit of algebra. Do more of these in the future, but now we need to move on to the next question because of time. Alright, so look at this. Now, working on this one, says given f of x is that, find the y-intercept. So when they say y-intercept, remember, you must remember x is equal to 0 in the y-intercept. So here you're going to say f of 0, find the y-intercept, is equal to 2 dot 3 to the power 0 minus 1. Now any number to the power of 0 is 1, so it's 2 dot 1 minus 1, which is equal to 1. But use a calculator if you feel like you're gonna make some errors, but you need to know the right substitution. So it's 2 times 3 to the power 0 minus 1, which is equal to 1. Are you seeing that? So the answer here, find the y-intercept. Y is equal to 1, because x is equal to what? X is equal to 0. And then find the asymptote. There is the asymptote. You just look at it. So what is the asymptote? Remember, f of x is equal to 2 dot 3x minus 1. So it's also y is equal to 1. Negative 1, sorry. It's the asymptote. It's on the y-axis. Draw the graph of f of x that clearly indicates the asymptote and the y-intercepts on the answer sheet attached. So let's come here and Yeah, let's see whether it's the same question. 3.1.3. Yes, that's the one. So we want to draw this graph, and this graph is saying, remember the coordinates here. The first one we said what? X is equal to 0, y is 1. So let's choose that point. When x is 0, y is equal to 1. There is that point. And then we've got a y asymptote of, this is the y asymptote. And you know what you do? You must, the asymptote is not drawn straight line. It's not a solid line. You do this. That's how you do an asymptote. It's a broken line. So the best is to do that. Now this is an exponential graph. You need to know the shape of this graph. And then when x is 0, y is equal to 1, that part, and you can draw. That's why they wanted to show the asymptote and the what? And the y-intercept. That's all they needed. So you can actually draw this graph and say, this is the graph here. Just a moment here. So the graph, but now let me look at this. How many marks was this? It's 5 marks. Let's look at the x-intercept also, so that we know where will it cut the x-axis. So here we can say when y is equal to 0. So we are saying 2.3 exponent x minus 1 is equal to 0. Take that to the other side, which is 2.3 exponent x is equal to 1. But we're interested in x, divide by 2. Right? Continue. Let's work it here. So 3 exponent x is equal to 1 over 2. So I think it's gonna be a challenge there to solve for x. Let's leave it like that because I thought it was gonna be just easy. So let's just sketch, because they didn't want that value. So if you are sketching this graph, you are going to sketch something of that nature. Okay, can I make it a little bit smaller? Maybe to be able to come up with a much better graph. So it's an exponential graph that does, remember this is an asymptote, something like that. Yes, that is f of x. This is graph of f. All right, is there any questions? That was that. It's 5 marks. And then 3.2.1, find the equation of a parabola that passes through that, and that. The equation of a parabola. This one is a bit, you need a bit of understanding. What is a parabola? And then a parabola is like this. General equation of a parabola. What we have is y is equal to a, and then it's x minus a. It's a x minus what can I say, b x minus c. All right, so now they gave us some points there on a parabola. Minus 2, 0, 5, 0. Let me write these points. There is minus 2, 0, and then we've got 5, 0. And then what else did they give us? They give us 0 minus 4. 0 minus 4. Remember what we have? This is the x, this is the y. This is the x, this is the y. This is the x, this is the y. So in actual fact, what they are giving you, these are the intercepts. It's like they're giving you something like this. You've got a parabola like this, and then they're telling you that one point is negative 2, the other point is 5, the other point is minus 4. Are you getting that? So if we are to look at this graph, I don't know where it will be cutting and such, but it's more like you're having something like this. I don't think it will be something like this. It can be like this also, but it doesn't look like that because it's got minus 4. So it looks like this type of a graph. That's a parabola. But now let's work it out and see what we are getting out of it. You need to find now your A, your B, and C. First one, you substitute. When this is y is 0, start with the first one. When y is 0, A, remember y is 0 on 2 occasions. You see that? So we've got x minus b. You can say bracket -2, and then x bracket is what? X minus 5. That's the first part when y is 0. So what we have, 0 is equal to a x plus 2 and what? And x minus 5. But we've got another coordinate, which is this one. When x is 0, y is minus 4. So we've got here what we have, so which will be y. Let's continue now, coming back. Y is equal to a x plus 2 y minus 5. Much better. Then we take that coordinate 0 minus 4 here, 0 minus 4. We also substitute it here. So when y is -4 is equal to a, when x is what? 0 plus 2, and then y is minus 4 minus 5. Are you seeing that? Minus 4 is equal to a. Now minus 4 minus 5. Am I right there to say y is actually, I wrote this thing wrong here. Let me correct here. Look at this. It's x plus 2x minus 5, so it's minus 4. It's 0 plus 2. X is still 0 minus 5, because it's x minus 5. It's just a matter of x is 0. So the first x is 0. Yes, that is that, because minus 4 is y. So 0 plus 2, here it will be 2, and here it will be that minus 5 is minus 5. And then what we have here, minus 4 is equal to -10a. Divide by -10, divide by -10. Then you have got a is equal to what? Negative will cancel, so it's 4/10, which is equal to 2/5. That is my a. So when you write this thing, the actual equation here, we come back to the actual equation here, then the answer comes out to say y is equal to a is what, by the way? 2/5 bracket x, remember, x plus 2 and x minus 5. This is the equation of the parabola. That's what they are wanting there. And then they say find the equation of the parabola. Hint, you say, oh, they even gave a hint. They gave a hint, a x minus x1, x minus x2. So I said x minus a. I didn't see that. And then they are saying calculate the turning point of the graph. The turning point, there are two things on the turning point. So I'm gonna take this thing here, and when you're dealing with a turning point, remember, at turning point, let me see on the formulas if you have, or they even gave this, but at turning point, did they give something at the turning point? Alright, they didn't give anything at the turning point. But what you need to know about the turning point, TP, as I wrote, x is equal to minus b over 2a. So we need to open this bracket. So what we have, we've got y is equal to 2/5. Then you expand x times that, x times that. y times, this times this, x times x, it's x squared. X times minus 5 is minus 5x. 2 times x is plus 2x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. See what I'm having? Then you continue again. Expand, 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 and expand. Or, yes, let's do that. But before that, we can actually say 2 over 5. We solve what is inside the bracket. X squared, solve this first. Minus 5 plus 2 is negative 3x minus 10. And then you do that expansion, which is this times that is 2 over 5 x squared. See that? Minus this times this, which is 3 times 2, it's 6 over 5x minus this times this, 5 there. So here it's 2 over 5 times negative 10. What does it give me? It's 2 over 5 times negative 10. It gives me negative 4. Alright, so we have got this. Remember though, I said at turning point, x is equal to minus b over 2a. So x is equal to, let's write it with another pen. So x is equal to minus b over 2a. At turning point, x is equal to, this is a, this is b. So minus b is bracket negative 6 over 5. Then all over 2a, it's 2 over 5. There is my a. Then you simplify this. Use a calculator. You don't have to stress yourself here. So you put that and say negative bracket negative fraction 6 over 5 all over 2 bracket 2 over 5. It will give us the x value, which is 3 over 2. So x is equal to 3 over 2. Another alternative here, we could have used here dy over dx. dy over dx is equal to 2 over 5. You drop that 2, remember the rules of calculus, which is 2 and what? X, 2 minus 1 minus, and then here we have got 6 over 5, that x becomes a 1. Now add tp dy over dx is equal to 0. So you look at this one now, you multiply the 2 over 5 times 2, which is 4 over 5x minus 6 over 5 is equal to 0, because that thing is equal to 0. Then you solve for x. You can see that 4 over 5x is equal to, take that to the other side, is 6 over 5. You can cancel the 5 there, such that you have got 4x is equal to 6. When you start to solve for x, you divide. Divide by 4, divide by 4. What is x? X is equal to 4 over this, which is 3 over 2. Doesn't matter which one you use, but the best one, I think, for your level is this one. Then at this stage, the question was, find what? Calculate the turning point, not only the x value, the turning point. So you can come here and say, okay, I now know the y, I can find now the x. So you go back to the original, which is fine. I'll still take this one. You take this thing here. I'm putting it intentionally like this, but of course I'm gonna take out this. You take this, but don't forget we have got what? X is equal to 3 over 2. You now want the y value. Y is equal to 2 over 5 3 over 2 squared minus 6 over 5, 3 over 2. So where there is x, you substitute. You are substituting where you see the x value. And then you find the y value. That becomes now a coordinate. Remember, coordinates have got x and y. So I've got 2 over 3 bracket, actually it's 2 over 5 bracket is 3 over 2 squared minus 6 over 5 bracket 3 over 2 minus 4. I hope this is fine. Minus 49 over 10. If I didn't make an error, you can cross check. So now the question is find the turning point. So turning point TP is what? 3 over 2 minus 49 over 10. This is then the turning point of this graph. Where is that? Okay, here. Calculate the turning point. Then sketch the graph of this. Clearly indicate the asymptotes and the y-intercept. That I think the is y is equal to 1 over x plus y minus 1. Let's look at that. There is the graph. So what am I having? Let me write it down here. It's y is equal to 1 over x plus 1 minus 1. Am I right? X plus 1 minus 1. Brackets or no brackets is the same. Look at this. This is the y asymptote. Now the x asymptote, you're going to say x plus 1 equal to 0. X is equal to minus 1. This is the x asymptote. Then after that, you need the intercepts. So for the intercepts, remember there are two. When x is equal to 0, then you're like, okay, y is equal to 1 over, you go to the equation, remember x is 0. So where there is x, there it is 0 plus 1 minus 1. So y is equal to 0. Am I right? When x is equal to 0, 1 over 1 minus 1, y is equal to 0. And then that is the intercept. When y is equal to 0, you do the same thing. 0 is equal to 1 over x plus 1 minus 1. Take the 1 to the other side. 1 is equal to 1 over x plus 1 over 1. Then you can cross multiply here, cross multiply, so that you've got x plus 1 is equal to 1, and then do that, and then x is equal to 0. So in a way, there is a coordinate 0, 0 on both sides, so it doesn't matter. So let's look at this. Let's start with the asymptotes. Y is equal to -1. So you come here on the asymptote, and here you can draw y is -1. It's an asymptote. And then the other asymptote is what? X is -1. I'll just do this. X is -1 is an asymptote. Now I need to break these lines, because I told you an asymptote, you do this on an asymptote. Okay, then we said when there is a point when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, and then this graph is on this quadrant coming like this, and you know it's in quadrant 1 and 3, so I can continue this graph like this slowly to the end, and it's a graph like this. Okay, because it's in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. Remember, these are hyperbola. It can be also in this quadrant, this one or this one, that is 2 and 4, but this one unfortunately is in only quadrant 1 and 3. So that was that. Says clearly indicate the asymptotes. Okay, this equation and y-intercept clearly indicate the asymptotes. So let's come here and say y is x actually here, because you need to indicate them. You must say x is equal to my this is y. Come on, I'm mixing it up now. Remember, these are the y-axis here. Y is equal to -1. There is the x. X is equal to -1. This is the graph of what? Is it the graph of f? Or y is equal to, you write it to say this is y is equal to 1 over x plus 1 minus 1, and then the y-intercept here you indicate 0, 0. That is where it's cutting the y-axis. Alright, so guys, this is how you can answer. This was 20 marks, and this marks the end of this paper. It was what? Paper question 2 and 3, and I've gone through all the papers. I hope you were benefiting. Again, it was, I know, graph intensive, but as you keep revising these, you stand a better chance of passing them. Now remember guys, as much as I'm bringing these, this is like a grill. These are the first videos of this new channel, so you can imagine I'm trying to put as much content before you write your exams as I can. But do me justice, subscribe and share this channel to your friends and colleagues. We've come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.